No society can surely be flourishing and happy, of which the far greater part of the members are poor and miserable. Adam Smith. Look at your bank account, now look at your mind. For decades, we've been fed a very specific, intoxicating narrative. If you are born poor, it's not your mistake, but if you die poor, it is. We are told that poverty is simply a lack of effort, a scarcity mindset, or a failure of personal willpower. But is it? Is poverty truly just a state of mind? A mental glitch that can be fixed with a few self-help books, a morning routine, and positive manifestations? Or is that belief the greatest gaslighting campaign in human history? Today, we are dissecting the ultimate philosophical battleground. Is poverty a failure of the soul or a structural trap of the system? Let's look at the first side of the coin. The modern gospel of hypercapitalism states that wealth is a psychological game. Thinkers influenced by extreme individualism argue that the human mind dictates reality. They talk about the poverty mindset, a psychological state where a person focuses entirely on survival, short-term rewards, and fear, which ultimately locks them into a cycle of bad financial decisions. And to be fair, science partially agrees. Behavioral economists have shown that financial stress actually lowers your effective IQ. When you are drowning in debt, your brain enters a constant state of fight or flight. You aren't thinking about a 5-year investment plan. You are thinking about tomorrow's dinner. The state of mind camp looks at this and says, "See, change your mind, change your life." But this argument hides a dark, dangerous assumption. It implies that the poor are just intellectually or spiritually lazy. It weaponizes guilt. Now, let's shatter that illusion. Enter the philosophers of the system. Karl Marx looked at the world and didn't see a lack of willpower. He saw a giant mechanical cage. He argued that capitalism, by its very design, requires a lower class to function. The system doesn't reward hard work, it rewards ownership. If hard work equaled wealth, every single mother working 3 jobs would be a billionaire. Even Adam Smith, the father of capitalism himself, warned that a society cannot be flourishing and happy when the greater part of its members are poor and miserable. When a system charges you interest to borrow money, but pays you pennies to save it, when the cost of housing rises 10 times faster than wages, when getting sick can bankrupt your entire generation, is it still a mindset problem? No. That is geometry. That is a game where the rules were written before you were even handed the dice. So where lies the truth? The reality is far more haunting than a simple either-or. The system and the mind are not separate. They are locked in a toxic metaphysical dance. The system creates the material conditions of poverty. It builds the slums, sets the low wages, and inflates the prices. But then, it does something truly sinister. It forces the human mind to adapt to those brutal conditions. The poverty mindset isn't a defect of birth. It is a psychological scar left by a ruthless environment. By telling people that poverty is just a state of mind, the system shifts the blame. It makes the prisoner believe that the prison bars are just a figment of their imagination. It forces you to audit your soul, so you forget to audit the establishment. Escaping poverty requires a shift in consciousness, yes. But a shift in consciousness without structural change is just daydreaming inside a burning building. The next time you see someone struggling, or the next time you look at your own financial anxieties, ask yourself, am I failing to think like a billionaire? Or am I just an ordinary human being trying to survive a machine built for giants? Your mind is the canvas, but never forget who owns the paint. If you found value in this perspective, consider subscribing to the channel. By doing so, you help this canvas grow, ensuring we can continue unpacking the deeper forces that shape our reality. Thank you for watching, and until next time.